Good morning, students. Welcome to Nandini Physics Academy. So today we starts lecture 5. Okay, so in previous lecture I explained the concepts up to quantum numbers. So yesterday I derived two quantum numbers, that is called principal quantum number and orbital quantum number. Once again I starts orbital quantum number. Yesterday the voice is low for particularly quantum numbers. So today class starts with quantum numbers. So please carefully listen. So come to what is quantum numbers. So quantum numbers. Okay. So today topic is quantum number. So quantum numbers are first of all principal quantum number, principal quantum number, and second one is orbital quantum number, and third one is orbital magnetic quantum number, and fourth one spin quantum number, and fifth one is spin magnetic quantum number. So these are the quantum numbers. So principal quantum number, it is denoted by small n. Okay, so this is a principal quantum number. I already explained this principal quantum number in previous class. Right now orbital quantum number. What is orbital quantum number? This is nothing but L, and orbital magnetic quantum number, that is called ML, and this is a spin quantum number S, and this is the spin magnetic quantum number MS. Okay, so today I will explain from second quantum number, so that is called orbital quantum number. Once again I starts from orbital quantum number. What is orbital quantum number? Actually this is a quantized it is also quantized orbital angular momentum. Okay, so this is called quantized orbital angular momentum. So I will start in this session, I will start orbital quantum number. See, orbital quantum number. Orbital quantum number. Okay. So generally what is orbital quantum number? That is called L. L is the orbital quantum number. Okay. Right. Orbital quantum number, this is a quantized angular momentum. So angular momentum is quantized due to quantum mechanically. Okay, due to quantum mechanics. So what is the angular momentum in quantum mechanics? So that is the angular momentum L is equal to h cross root over L into L plus 1. So this is the angular momentum because this is the expectation value of angular momentum. So this expectation value you can write L into L plus 1 h cross, where h cross is equal to h by 2 pi, where h is called Planck's constant, everything. Okay, so and the value of L is starts 0 to n minus 1. So this is the L value starts from this 0 to n minus 1. So for suppose if you are consider any L value, for suppose if you are consider nth state, if L is equal to starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, so on up to n minus 1. Okay, This is the nth state. What is 0 represents for S state, and this is P state, and this is D state, this is F state, so on. Okay. So these are the states. These are the states which are represented by orbital quantum number. So 0 represents for S state, 1 represents for P state, 2 represents for D state, and 3 represents for F state. Okay, like so. Right now, I will find out what is the number of shells in each cells. So number of shells. Okay, so in S shell contains number of shells 2. Okay, this is a I want to find out number of shells. So number of shells is nothing but S containing only one shell. Okay, and see, this is a number of shells in orbital quantum number. So a number of shells in orbital quantum number. So this S contains 1 and P contains 3 subcells, and D contains 5 and F contains 7 up to 2L plus 1 state. Okay, up to 2L plus 1. If you take L is 7 into 2, 14, 14 plus 1 is 15. So this is the 15th state, up to 2L plus 1 states. Okay, it indicates up to 2L plus 1 states. Now number of electrons occupied in each cell. So number of electrons occupied in each state, in each shell. So number of electrons occupied in each shell is, see, actually the number of electrons occupied in each shell is nothing but 2 times of shell only. Okay, so 2 times means, for suppose if you are consider 1, you will put 1 here, 1 plus 1, that is called 3, 3 into 2, 6. So you have to take n, L is equal to 1, then you will get 6. Okay, so like, so it is simply, it is nothing but 2 into 2L plus 1 states. Okay, so therefore this S is nothing but 1 subshell. So this is only, so 1 into 2. Okay, so that is but 2. This is 3, that is nothing but 2 times of 3, 6, 10, okay, 14 up to 2 into 2L plus 1. Okay, so these are the number of electrons occupied in each cell is 2, 6, 10, 14 up to 2 into 2L plus 1. This is the last state. Okay, so I want to find out the total number of electrons in a shell. So that is nothing but, for suppose the L value starts from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so I am using that equation once again. See, I will remove all these things. Please follow carefully. Okay, so I want to find out the total number of electrons in a shell. The L value starts from 0 to n minus 1. So therefore the total number of electrons in a shell, so the total number of electrons in a shell, see, from L value takes from 0 to n minus 1. So that is nothing but total number of electrons in a shell is nothing but sigma is equal to n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So 2 into 2L plus 1. So this is the value. So total number of electrons. Okay, for suppose if you substitute the values, summation values in each case, so you will get, see, 2 into 2 power n starts from, sorry, L starts from 0 to n minus 1. So L is 0 plus 1 plus 2 into, so simply substitute L values up to n minus 1. Okay, so 2 into 2 of 1 plus 1, okay, because L is 1 next. Okay, plus 2 into 2 plus 1 plus so on, plus 2 into, what is the L value, last state, n minus 1 plus 1. Okay, n minus 1 plus 1 into 2, n minus 1 plus 1. So this is the infinite term. Okay, so therefore this value will be 2 into, see, 2 into 0, 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 2 into 1, 2, plus 2 into 2 into 1, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 into 2, 6, plus 4, plus 5, 5 into 10, 10, plus, see this is value, see I will write here, this value is 2n minus 2 plus 1 of 2. Okay, so what will happen? So 2n minus 1, this is into 2, so that is called 4n minus 2. So finally you will get 4n minus 2, this is the value. So I will write here 4n minus 2. So actually simply I will write plus 4n minus 2. Okay, so this is the value, and this is in arithmetic progression. So this is arithmetic in terms of arithmetic progression. So what is the nth term of arithmetic progression? So nth term of arithmetic progression. So because this series is indicates for arithmetic progression, so therefore the nth term, the otherwise the sum of nth term. Okay, you will write sum of infinite term, sum of infinite term in above equation in AP. Okay, so that is called S infinity, that's value is n by 2 into A plus L. Okay, so this is indicates for A value and this is indicate for L value. So simply substitute these two equations in the above, you will get the total number of electrons occupied in each shell. Okay, so if you write this value, so what will be happen in arithmetic progression? S infinite is equal to n divided by 2. What is the A value? A value is nothing but 2. 2 plus, see last L values represent infinite number. So 4n minus 2. Okay, so simply S infinite, so that is called sum of infinite terms. So that is called n divided by 2. 2 will be cancelled. So this is 4n only. So you will get 4n square by 2. So finally you will get 2n square. So the total number of electrons occupied in each cell is, total number of electrons occupied in each cell shell is 2n square. Okay, so if you do a small example problem like this is very important for IIT JAM level. So IIT JAM, so JAM is important. So for suppose I will do one problem. See in this problem, the total number of electrons in a shell, example, total number of electrons in a shell, that is n is equal to 3. So here they are given total number of electrons in a shell is n is equal to 3. Okay, so using this equation, number of electrons occupied in each cell is 2n square. From that formula you will get this answer. Okay, so 2n square. So here n is equal to 3 means, so simply using the total number of electrons occupied in a shell, that is n is equal to 3, they are given 2 into 3 square. So this is nothing but 2 into 9, so that is nothing but 8. For suppose the same problem asking in different way. So this is the another question. The total number of electrons occupied in a shell up to n is equal to 3. He is asking like up to n is equal to 3. So how you will do such type of problems means, if they are given directly n is equal to 3, no problem, you will simply substitute. But they are asking total number of electrons occupied in a shell up to n is equal to 3 means we are using summation of 2n square. So formula is using summation of up to n is equal to 3. So therefore n starts from 0 to 3. Okay, up to 3. So therefore into 2n square. So simply substitute these values, you will get 2 into 0 whole square plus 2 into 1 whole square plus 2 into 2 square plus 2 into 3 square. Okay, so you will get 0 plus 2 into 1 square is 2 plus 2 into 2 square is nothing but 4. 4 into 2 8. 8 plus 9. 9 into 2 18, so total 28. So this is your answer. So the total number of electrons occupied in a shell up to n is equal to 3 means you can solve the problem in this way, in this manner. If total number of electrons in a shell n is equal to 3 means you will solve directly, substitute 3. There is no need to tag the summation here, but here we tag the summation. Why? Because they are occupied in a shell up to they are using, so that's why in up to condition you have to use this tag. Okay, so this is about orbital quantum number. So first of all, what we are doing, orbital quantum numbers. So these orbital quantum numbers are quantized. Because why they are quantized? Because orbital momentum in a atom is almost all quantized. Okay, so therefore orbital momentum is quantized according to quantum mechanics. The orbital angular momentum L is equal to h cross root over L into L plus 1. So in previously I erased all these things. After then the L value starts from 0 to n minus 1. So for suppose in nth state you have L is starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 so on up to n minus 1 value. For each state we are representing one number, one name. So that is called P shell, S cell, P cell, SP, D, F like. After then I want to find out number of cells. Each number of cells in each state is represented by 0. Okay, for SSL is nothing but only one shell, 3 and 5 and 7 like that. So each number of electrons represented, we are doubling that equation. So we will get all these things. Okay, after then see, I will do one such beautiful formula. So that formula is nothing but total number of electrons occupied in a shell. From using that theory, this mathematics I will done, but this series is look like be a arithmetic progression. So in that arithmetic progression, I want to find out the sum of infinite. So I want to find out the sum of infinite terms in AP. So that is called S infinite is equal to n by 2 into A plus L. So I'll substitute all these things, I'll get 2n square. So this formula is very important. This is the very important formula for IIT JEE. So here based on this problem formula, they are asking problems like, okay. So this is the theory about orbital quantum number. So next I want to tell you a small story about before going to orbital magnetic momentum. Okay, so before going to orbital quantum number, magnetic quantum number, orbital magnetic quantum number, I want to tell you a small theory. So that theory is very helpful to that is nothing but drawbacks of Bohr theory. Okay, drawbacks of Bohr theory. After complete the drawbacks of Bohr theory, I introduce the next quantum number, that is called orbital magnetic quantum number. Okay, so simply I erase all these things. So in this theory, I'll explain how we get no electron having spin. How we get no electron having spin. Okay, how we will get electron having spin? Because Bohr was considered this electron doesn't have any spin right now. The spin term is not introduced actually Bohr. Okay, so actually this is one doubt. Okay, how we get no electrons having spin, and it is also called as some drawbacks. This is also called some drawbacks, I explain. Okay, so generally Bohr was explaining hydrogen like atoms. Actually Bohr theory is explaining hydrogen atom. So if you consider any hydrogen atom, okay, so the center of part of this hydrogen atom is proton, and around this proton some electrons are revolving. Okay, due to this revolving of electron, they have some energy states are available. So we will get some energy spectra of hydrogen atom. So from hydrogen atom, see what we are get according to Bohr theory. according to Bohr theory, okay, we will get hydrogen spectra. Okay, so because the electrons which are revolving around this proton will create some energy states, energy levels. So that is called energy spectra. Okay, so hydrogen atom having energy spectrum. Okay, so this is called energy spectra. So this is called energy spectra. We will indicate that spectra is right now. This is the first state level, second level, third level, fourth level, fifth level, up to infinite. Okay, because the levels are quantized. Okay, so levels are quantized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, up to fifth level. And the states are nothing but N1 state, N2 state, N2, N3, N4, N5 like. So these are the number of states N1, N2, N3, N4, and the number of each levels are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So according to quantum theory, okay, according to quantum theory, these angular momentum, these levels are quantized because angular momentum is quantized in hydrogen atom. Okay, so therefore angular momentum is quantized means what is that angular momentum? L is equal to integral multiples of 2 pi. So because it's a quantized. Okay, if you indicate angular momentum of each level is different. Okay, because angular momentum of each state is different. So simply you will like this the L state is nothing but 1 into h divided by 2 pi, and this state is indicate 2 into h divided by 2 pi, and this is called 3 into h by 2 pi. So these are the angular momentum of each state. Okay, so 4 into h by 2 pi. Okay, this is the spectra absorbed by hydrogen atom. Like what is the energy state of hydrogen? Minus 13.6 electron volt divided by n square. So this is the energy of hydrogen spectra. Okay, so due to this energy, the energy states, these are levels absorbing, these are levels absorbed by Bohr theory by using hydrogen atom. So this is called hydrogen energy spectra. Okay, but this spectra is this is a theoretical spectra. Actually this is a theoretically Bohr developed this spectra. Theoretically Bohr developed this spectra. Oh, okay, but if you see the hydrogen atom practically that means practical means experimentally. So experimentally it is completely different. Okay, theoretically the Bohr's explanation is correct. Theoretically Bohr's explanation is correct, but experimentally we can see by using high resolution spectrometer, like the states, the levels of the theoretical spectra and experimental spectra both are different. Okay, so completely different. In experimentally this level also further splitting. This level is also further splitting. In experimentally we can observe the levels of the hydrogen spectra is furtherly splitting. Okay, so Bohr could not explain this splitting of spectral lines. So that means Bohr was not in general hydrogen theory, hydrogen atom, according to Bohr theory, hydrogen atom shows some energy spectra. Okay, this is called spectra. This is called energy spectra, but this spectra is completely different for experimentally spectra. Okay, why? Because in experimentally we observe that each level will be furtherly splitting. Either it's splitting doublet or triplet or fourth state, right? We are not discussing about all these things, but if you observe in high resolution spectroscopy using high resolution microscope or everything, this spectra is furtherly splitting. Okay, experimentally it is completely different. Experimental spectra is completely different is completely different, theoretical spectra is completely different. Okay. So Bohr could not explain these things, and the second point is, see, this is the first thing, was Bohr was not explained, and the second one is, when the same atom, you are consider the same hydrogen atom, this atom is right now I am placed in any external magnetic field. What will be happen? See, if this atom, the atom center point is proton, because the hydrogen having proton charge in center and electron revolving around this proton. Now I introduce a magnetic field inside. So this is the magnetic field north and south. I will insert the magnetic field. So what will be happen if it is placed in any magnetic field? Okay, if it is placed in any magnetic field. Okay, so according to Bohr theory, so L का corresponding, एक ml value came. So this ml value and L value starts from minus L to plus L. Okay. So corresponding to angular momentum L value, we are getting a small ml value. Okay. So this ml value starts from minus L to plus L. Okay. So if you are consider L is equal to 1 means, see, the corresponding ml values are plus 1, 0 to minus 1. So these are the corresponding values. Means if L is equal to 1 means, if L is equal to 2, you will take L is equal to 2 state, then the orbital momentum, the orbital number L is equal to 2, then we will get ml value is furtherly split into 5 parts. So 2 into 1 into 0, minus 1, minus 2. So we can observe this atom is placed in any external magnetic field. According to Bohr theory, the L, okay, and this orbital momentum, the orbital quantum number will be furtherly split into ml. So that ml value is from minus L to plus L. Okay. So why these things are came why we are getting all these things? Bohr cannot explain, because if you put this atom into any external magnetic field, these will be happen. Okay. So these are according to quantum mechanics. Okay. So according to quantum theory, what is the this is also quantized quantity only these are these angular momentum is quantized according to quantum theory. What is the angular momentum? That angular momentum is equal to h cross root over L into L plus 1. Okay. So this is according to quantum theory. The angular momentum is also quantized. Okay. So furtherly splitting in this direction means if ml value takes 0, there is no splitting. Okay, that is a single line. If ml value is equal to, if you consider ml value, the L value is one nothing but ml is equal to, if you consider L value 0, ml value no problem, there is no splitting in ml value. If you consider L is equal to means m will be split into 3 parts. Okay, and if you consider L is equal to 2 means ml value is split into 5 parts, because it's furtherly split into 5 parts. So this is only possible when the atom is placed in any external magnetic field according to quantum theory. Okay, so according to quantum theory, Bohr was explained, if the hydrogen atom is placed in any external magnetic field, what will be happen? According to corresponding to L, there is one ml value came. So this ml value, the value of ml is nothing but minus L2 plus L, and if this ml, if you consider L is equal to 0, ml will be 0. But if you consider L value is 1, your ml will be split into 1, 0, minus 1. If L is equal to 2 means ml is 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. So Bohr completely explained this theory under the basis of angular momentum. Okay, not consider for any electron spin. Okay, he was not consider electron spin. He was only consider angular momentum. So based on this angular momentum, he can explain all these things. Okay, so but what will be happen? See, why they are splitting like that, he can't explain. Okay, why they are splitting like that, he can't explain. So that is one of the drawback. Okay, so finally I'll write some important matter. So please note everybody, because why he was not explained, why the same atom, Bohr's atom, is placed on any external magnetic, why they are getting ml values. Okay, and why they are splitting like, if you take L value is 0, your ml will be not splitting. So this is no splitting condition, no split. Okay, if you take L value is equal to 1, then furtherly ml values split into 1, 0, minus 1. It means it split in 3 parts. So if you consider ml is equal to 5, so L is equal to 2 state, ml will be consider it will be split into 5 states, that is called 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. So that is called 5 parts it will be split. So why this will be happen? So Bohr was not explained. Okay, so finally he concluded that finally he was giving another postulate. Okay, so that is called electron spin. He introduced electron spin because every atom has revolving, every atom, its a center point is nucleus, and electron revolving around the nucleus. Okay, so due to the rotation of electron, otherwise due to the orientation of electron about their own axis, okay, it will provide a magnetic quantum number, so that is called a magnetic momentum. Simply you will say a magnetic momentum. It produces a magnetic momentum. Now that magnetic moment is interact with this external magnetic field. Then only this. Therefore, that is the reason why they are splitting like that. So that is nothing but spin orbit interaction. He cannot explain the concept of spin orbit interaction, and also he cannot explain the Zeeman effect. The splitting of spectral lines in a magnetic field is nothing but Zeeman effect. He can't explain why the spectral lines splitting in a magnetic field. He cannot explain Bohr. Bohr was not explained. That is called Zeeman effect. So Zeeman effect is also not explained. At the same way, see here, generally and theoretically this spectra is available, but experimentally the spectra shows the different values, because these levels are right now 5 levels, but experimentally if you see, this is not 5 levels, it is more than 5 levels. More than not means infinite number of lines are there, splitting lines. So why they are happen, he was not explained. So okay, so after that he introduced a spin quantization, spin of electron. He introduced a spin of electron. Due to that spin of electron, introducing spin of electron, so the electron spinning, the electron orientation depends upon orientation and self spinning. Okay, that is called, that gives a spin quantum number, at the same time spin magnetic momentum. Okay, using these two concepts he explained furtherly. So this is called spin orbit interaction. Okay, he cannot explain the spin orbit interaction as well as he cannot explain the Zeeman effect. So these are both drawbacks of Bohr theory. Okay, so please note everybody. I'll put this. So therefore, we can say that Bohr theory is a completely incomplete theory. Bohr theory is totally incomplete because it is completely they have a lot of doubts in their mind, so scientists mind. So this is completely a gadbad theory, like it is a completely disturbing. So therefore, that's why we can call as it is an incomplete theory. Bohr theory is an incomplete theory. Okay. So to complete the theory, no, we can introduce a magnetic momentum concept. Okay. So if you use a magnetic momentum, okay, because magnetic field actually orbital angular momentum is nothing but here already we are consider orbital angular momentum. Okay, these orbital angular momentum correspond opposite direction. There is a magnetic orbital momentum is creating. That magnetic moment is interact with the external magnetic field. So that is the reason to these splittings. That is that is cause to splitting of the spectral lines. Okay, so that is called Zeeman effect. Right? Simply, I erase these things. I simply write some small conclusions. So actually, experimentally, Bohr theory is totally different. So experimentally Bohr theory is totally different. Okay. So therefore we are called Bohr theory. Bohr theory is incomplete theory. Okay. So experimentally Bohr theory is totally different. We'll get theoretical spectra, but theoretical spectra is totally different with experimental spectra. In experimental spectra, we can observe lot of the levels, the spectral levels are more than theoretical spectra. So therefore, it is totally different, and Bohr theory is completely incomplete theory. Okay, and finally, the splitting of spectral lines. Okay, in this concept we are explaining the splitting of spectral lines, splitting of spectral lines in a magnetic field. Splitting of spectral lines in a magnetic field is called Zeeman effect. Zeeman effect. So Bohr theory cannot explain this Zeeman effect also. So Bohr cannot explain. Bohr does not explain this theory. Okay. So Bohr does not explain this theory. Okay. That is called Zeeman effect. Bohr does not explain this theory. Okay, furtherly, he consider an electron concept. So electron having some intrinsic spin. So furtherly, he consider that electron having some intrinsic spin. Okay, due to this intrinsic spin, they create a magnetic moment. So this magnetic moment is interact with the external magnetic field. So this interaction will causes the splitting of spectral lines. So this phenomena is called spin orbit interaction. Now the Bohr theory cannot explain that spin orbit interaction also. So that is the theory. Okay, right. I'll write here. So finally he considered that the orbital magnetic momentum interact with the magnetic field, and this magnetic field, the interaction causes the energy levels to split further. Okay, so this is called spin orbit interaction. A Bohr theory cannot explain the spin orbit interaction. Okay, so these are the main drawbacks of Bohr theory. At the same time, he cannot explain hyperfine structure also. What is hyperfine structure? He cannot explain hyperfine structure. Hyperfine structure. So I'll explain hyperfine structure in my next class, no problem. But hyperfine structure means in a nucleus also having some proton and neutron. So nucleus having some nucleus having some proton and neutron. For suppose these protons and neutrons also having some spin. Okay, these neutron proton spin also rotating about their own axis. Okay, so we are consider the spin of proton and neutron, and furtherly that spin creates some magnetic momentum. Okay, so that magnetic momentum is interacted with the external magnetic field. So this concept is called hyperfine structure. Okay, so if you consider nuclear spin also, here only I am consider electron spin. Okay, both orientational spin and spinning magnetic momentum and orbital magnetic momentum, both we are consider here, including nuclear spin also consider. That is called hyperfine structure, and Bohr cannot explain this hyperfine structure also. Bohr cannot explain this hyperfine structure. So these are the drawbacks of Bohr theory. After then we introduce next quantum number, that is called orbital magnetic quantum number. So that is the third thing. So right now we are discussing about that third quantum number. Okay, so this is about theory. So why they are introduced magnetic quantum numbers. Okay, after then we discuss about all these things. So simply see, next important third one, orbital magnetic moment quantum number. Orbital magnetic quantum number. Orbital magnetic quantum number. Okay, so this is called as ML. I already tell you, L का एक corresponding value came, that is nothing but magnetic momentum. So that is called orbital quantum number, orbital magnetic quantum number. Okay, so I already explained in previous class what is orbital. This orbital quantum number is also quantized due to orientation of angular momentum. Okay, so this is quantized. ML is quantized due to orientation of ML is quantized due to orientation of angular momentum. Okay, ML is also a quantized quantity, like angular momentum is a quantized quantity. So similarly, ML is also quantized due to orientation of angular momentum about a specific axis. Okay, axis, like specific axis means, if you are introduce for suppose this is an atom. Okay, if you are introduce a magnetic field here, so this is a magnetic field, the atom is introduced in a magnet. Now, so this is nothing but electron, so this is the electron, this is nothing but orbital angular momentum. So this momentum oriented so in this direction. So this is called precession of electron orbitally. So this is called orbital angular momentum L. So now it will be movement in this direction. Okay, so this will call about its own axis, is called orientation of electron. Actually, orientation of electron is called angular momentum. Okay, angular momentum about specific axis. So therefore it is quantized due to the orientation of angular momentum about the specific axis. Okay, and see this value, the ML value starts from minus L to plus L. I already explained there. ML value starts from minus L, and total ML values, total value is 2L plus 1. Total values indicate 2L plus 1. Okay, now I introduce a space quantization. Space quantization, how you will write space quantization? Right now I will discuss about space quantization. See, Actually, this is magnetic field direction. So this is called magnetic field. Okay, now you will consider this is angular momentum of electron. So this is electron. Okay, angular momentum of the electron. So the orientation of angular momentum. So orientation of angular momentum, because the orientation takes theta, because magnetic momentum and about axis of magnetic field axis, that axis both are different. Okay, so therefore it makes an angle theta. And if you consider this is the z components of angular momentum, that is called Lz. Here Lz is nothing but z components of angular momentum, and this is L is nothing but angular momentum. So according to quantum mechanics, the components of Lz is nothing but mh cross. Okay, and what is angular momentum according to quantum mechanics? H cross root over L into L plus 1. Okay, where h cross is equal to h by 2 pi. So this is called integral multiples. Okay, so L is integral multiples of nh pi. So L into L plus 1, and according to quantum mechanics. So according to this theory, so if you take the cos theta value, cos theta is equal to, what is the cos theta value? Lz divided by L. So due to quantization, this is called quantization of electron. This process is called quantization. Okay, in quantization process we are explaining space quantization. Okay, space quantization. I'll explain space quantization topic. In space quantization, so it is actually quantized due to orientation of angular momentum about specific axis. This is the axis. Now this is angular momentum. This angular momentum is oriented. Orientation of angular momentum. That means angular momentum will be changed in each direction. Angular momentum direction will be changed. See, one important point to remember here. So in this type of orientation, only direction is change. Okay, but see, magnitude never change. Okay, but only direction change, but magnitude does not change. So that's why the components of theta, cos theta is equal to the z components of angular momentum divided by mod cos theta. So what is the value of z components? mh cross divided by what is L components according to quantum mechanics? Root over L into L plus 1. Okay, so h cross can be cancelled. So m is equal to root over L into L plus 1. See, simply what you will get for the space quantization, you will get from space quantization, you will get cos theta is equal to ml. So this is ml value. Okay, ml h cross, space quantization. So due to cos theta ml divided by root over L into L plus 1. Understand? So this is value we will get. Okay, if you consider L is equal to 1 state. So L is equal to 1 means it is a p state. Okay, if you consider p shell, then p shell contains L is equal to 1. Therefore ml value corresponding to L value, 1 ml value will be 1 0 minus 1. Okay, so if you simply substitute cos theta is equal to, for minus 1, ml value is 1 and L value is 1, root over 1 into 1 plus 1. Similarly, cos theta is equal to 0 divided by root over L into 1 plus 1, and similarly cos theta is equal to minus 1, because ml is minus 1 into root over L 1 into 1 plus 1. So finally you will get these equations. So see, from this theory, space quantization, from the space quantization we can understand that angular momentum and its z components of angular momentum both are quantized quantities, because ml is a quantized and L is also quantized, both are quantized terms only. Due to space quantization, it will be the angular momentum is orienting. So the orienting directions I will explain right now. See, cos theta, this cos theta is equal to 1 by root 2, and you will get cos theta is equal to 0, and you will get finally cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2. Okay. So this value is around 45 degrees, and this value is 90 degrees, and this value is 135 degrees. See, for suppose this is the specified axis, this is the axis. Okay. So actually at ml value 0 means there is no splitting, no split. Okay. So ml value 0 means it is always indicates at 90 degrees only. This is the 90 degrees ml. So this value is ml. Okay. This is the specified axis. Okay. Now the angular momentum right now, quantum, orbital quantum magnetic momentum right now at horizontal. Okay. So if you consider the first case, you will, this magnetic momentum is shifted into this direction. Okay. So this is at an angle 45 degrees ml right now here, and see this is the another orientation, that is called 135 degrees. So this angular quantum, magnetic quantum number will be oriented in all directions. So this is called space quantization. Due to orbital magnetic momentum quantization, and this ml is also quantized. Why? Because I am tell you quantized, I can find out the quantized value. So every time it changes their direction, but they are not change their magnitude. So this is nothing but space quantization of electron. Okay, space quantization. So this is one important theory. You can write the space quantization like. Okay, so this is the space quantization term. Similarly, so this is the theory about orbital quantum number. Okay, and the same way space, next spin quantum number. The fourth one is spin quantum number. The fourth one is spin quantum number. Spin quantum number. So this is the fourth one, spin quantum number. Spin quantum number is nothing but S. Simply this is orbital quantum number like spin quantum number. The spin quantum number it is also quantized the magnitude of spin angular momentum. So it is also quantized quantity. It is also quantized due to quantum mechanically. Okay, due to quantum mechanically it is quantized. So the magnitude of quantization of spin quantum number is nothing but h cross root over s into s plus 1, like L into L plus 1, like s into s plus 1. So therefore h cross is equal to h by 2 pi. Okay, simply I need not to explain everything. Simply what is the total number of values? Total number of spins are 2s plus 1 only. This is the total level or degeneracy. Total level or degeneracy of the state. Okay, and next magnetic spin quantum number. So magnetic spin quantum number. So if the spin quantum number is quantized, then magnetic spin quantum number is also quantized. So fifth one, magnetic spin quantum number. So if spin is quantized, if spin means S is quantized, if S is quantized, then MS is also quantized. MS is also quantized. So right now I introduce the spin term, that is the orientation, this is a spin. Spin orientation, because it is a self, every electron pushes about their own axis and they are rotating about center of nucleus. So due to that own axis, rotation of own axis, okay, it is quantization due to orientation of spin. Actually it is a quantization due to orientation of spin, okay. orientation of spin about its own axis, So this is called magnetic spin quantum number. So magnetic spin quantum number means if S is a spin quantum number is quantized, then definitely Ms is also quantized due to quantum mechanically, but that quantization is possible due to orientation of spin about its own axis. Okay, so therefore what is the Ms value splits furtherly? Ms is nothing but it value from minus S to plus S. Okay, so minus S to plus S. What is the S value? S is equal to state is off, so this value is represent minus half to plus half. Okay, so that's why and if you consider according to spin quantization of this is nothing but next concept is simply we will consider the space quantization. Right now is spin quantization. So spin quantization, you consider spin quantization. Due to the spin quantization, similarly it is look like an orbital quantum number like spin magnetic momentum, orbital magnetic momentum like spin magnetic momentum. So this is the horizontal components of spin, jet components of spin. So that is called Sz. Okay, and the spin is right now spin quantum number which is rotating about their own axis, So therefore according to quantum mechanics, S is represented h cross root over S into S plus 1, and similarly Sz this is equal to Ms into h cross. So simply take cos theta because it maintains at an angle theta in that rotation. S theta is equal to mod Sz divided by mod S. So this is called Ms h cross divided by h cross root over S into S plus 1. So simply cut h cross, then cos theta is equal to Ms divided by S into S plus 1 root. So this is called now simply substitute if Ms value is minus of, so cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2 root over S value is 1 by 2 to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 1 by 2 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 3 by 2. So this is called approximate minus 1 by root 3. Okay, and cos theta is equal to plus half divided by root over 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2. So simply see the 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2. So this value is represent plus 1 by root 3. So here spin is only quantization 2 parts, it not quantization center. So this is one part plus this is called plus part, plus 1 by root 3 state, and this is minus 1 by root 3. So this is about the theory of quantum numbers. Okay, so in next class I explain lecture 6. Thank you very much.